Ohio, where the questions about the air and water quality are mounting after that train derailment 12 days ago and the controlled burn that may have put a toxic cloud of chemicals into the air. The EPA administrator will visit East Palestine tomorrow. The Ohio EPA says that the water is safe to drink, but is still urging some residents to use bottled water. And tonight, officials there are hosting a town hall for frustrated residents. For more now, let's bring in renowned whistleblower Erin Brockovich. Erin, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, as many may remember, how can we forget? We saw Julia Roberts play you on the big screen. You were the driving force behind a $333 million settlement to residents in a small California town after you uncovered that Pacific Gas and Electric had been poisoning the town's water for 30 years. Now, 12 days after this derailment, the governor of Ohio has assured us that the water is safe to drink, that only people in wells should test their water. But we're going to ask you the same question that we asked him. If you were there right now, would you drink the water?
No. If I were there right now watching all of this inconsistent information coming in from a derailment that happened on February 3rd to an evacuation and the danger and then days passing and then all safe, you can come home, and then 6 days into the future on that date, they're like, oh, now we're going to tell you can't drink the water. Now today you can drink the water. Who would trust that? This community knows exactly what's going on. They're living it and breathing it and experiencing it. They don't trust it. They're upset. They're frustrated. They're not getting answers, and they should be. They are left at this point to have to fend for themselves.
And they are very frustrated. Is that why you decided to get involved? Some of that misinformation?
Well, so generally, anytime there's an environmental issue, because of a film almost, 20 years ago? No, 20 years ago. I kind of go together when there's a groundwater contamination and environmental issue, they email me. So as early as about 5 a.m. on the 4th, I started getting emails from the community. And they were concerned and they weren't sure what was going on. And from the onset, there was a lot of misinformation coming out. And look, this information takes time. This is obviously unfolding. We're watching it unfold. We still haven't seen any data. We're getting inconsistent information. So at this point, I have been working hard with just trying to get the community to know they've got to rely on themselves. They've got to have that instinct, the own set of common sense, if you will. And they've activated that. But they're stuck what feels like really in a political conundrum, and there's no taking away that we had a train derail with 10 cars of hazardous materials that was set to explode. They went and did a controlled burn. It's everywhere. It's falling out into the water. Over 1 million gallons of vinyl chloride has gotten into the ground. And one thing that I'm very concerned about is the second chemical that they're monitoring is the butyl acrylate, which as of today was off-site in creeks headed for the Ohio River. What I worry about with this chemical is it has an additive. That additive is benzene. We're not getting any numbers about, are you even testing for benzene? What are the levels at or not? I think this is a horrible, precarious, terrible situation for this community and these people to be in when their water, their health, their future, and their safety is at stake.
And in contrary to what the government is saying, we've seen reports of cats and chickens dying and thousands of fish. Our team has continued to report also that there is a smell in the air. The EPA administrator says that they will be there tomorrow, but I have to imagine that it will be difficult for the community to believe what the government has to say. What do you think needs to happen so that the community can gain the community's trust again?
Oh, I think that's going to take some time, if ever, because we're 12 days into this, no, 13 days into this, I believe, that this has gone on with misinformation. Wow, what a horrible mismanagement of yet another environmental disaster. For me, represents a much more systemic problem. I think this community even recognizes it on how it is we haphazardly are transporting hazardous waste that when there's an accident, it's deadly to the environment, to the water, to the chickens, to the cats, to the public health and welfare. We can't continue to operate this way. So I don't think getting trust back will necessarily be that easy or come that quickly for these agencies.
And what do you think that the railroad company should be doing right now? We heard that the governor has set up a family help center and that anyone who has a problem can go get reimbursed. But do you think that's enough?
In this case,
oh my gosh, that's not enough. I think we all know there's already been 4 lawsuits filed. I mean, they had a terrible train derailment carrying hazardous chemicals that leaves a lot unknown. I think that they know they have a lot of liability. And, you know, you can go out there and do the best you can to make it right by the community. But I think that community at this point is really relying on the EPA and their leaders and their administrators to help keep them safe. And that's just turned into a very, very confusing situation. But Norfolk is the railroad. They knew what they were doing. They knew what their load was or wasn't. They knew they had hazmat, I believe, because of failures of infrastructure repairs and maintenance, et cetera. We're going to have to take a long, hard look at our rail system so we don't continue to have these problems and these types of crashes are on the rise. But I think the community is more looking to their leaders, their administration, and want to believe that the EPA is going to get them the information of whether they're safe or not.
Those residents demanding answers tonight. Erin Brockovich, thank you so much for your time and insight.
Thanks for having me.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.